Hi everyone, welcome to Java Techie. When working with the database layer, we often focus on query optimization. For this, we use techniques like indexing, partitioning, and various other database level strategies, right? But did you know that we can also optimize performance directly within the query itself? Sounds interesting, isn't it? That's where the concept of query hints comes into the picture. At a high level, query hints are a powerful technique for optimizing and improving database performance. If you are using Spring Data JPA, then you can leverage this feature through the query hints annotations itself. By using this query hints annotation, you can reduce response times of your query, lower database load, and you can also ensure a faster and more responsive application. So in this tutorial, we'll explore query hints in Spring Data JPA and we'll also compare the performance of queries with and without query hints. Okay, alright. So without any further delay, let's get started. So to demonstrate this query hints use case, I have created a simple application. Let me walk you through the application. There is no complex logic. If you'll go to the pom.xml, we have added the data JPA, web dependency and MySQL connector, and we just added the Lombok dependency. Okay, and if you see here, I have created an entity class called employee with couple of field. Can you see here? Next, I have created a controller class who will take the salary as a input and will give you list of employee who comes under that salary range. So if you go and check the service, it connect to the database layer, which is nothing my employee repository. And if you will go here, I have defined a query to fetch all the employee whose salary is greater than this. This is the simple application or simple endpoint I have defined to demonstrate the use of query hints. Okay, now before we compare the performance with and without query hints, let me show you the records we have in our DB. So the total count of record present in the employee table, let me run it, 1,97,000. Can you see here? Now let's say I want to filter all the employee whose salary is greater than 50,000. Okay, so in that case, let's see what is the number. 1,96,506. Okay, we have enough employee object whose salary is greater than 50,000. So we need a big number to find the difference. How much time your query will take to execute. So that you can figure out with query and query hints. That is the way we can figure out whether we are able to optimize the database performance or not. Okay, so that is the reason forcefully I added couple of record to this employee table, and in code we are fetching the record. Okay, all good. Now let's do one thing. Let's run this fast, then we'll see what is the time taking to execute this particular query behind the scene. Then we'll apply the query hints and we'll compare whether it is increasing our DB performance or not. So to just track the statistic of my query, I just added these particular properties. Okay, all good. Now let's run our application. Just go to the main class, then just run it. So it started on port 80. What is that? Okay, 9191. Let me clear this console. Now what is the endpoint we have defined here? Slash employees. Let me minimize this. Yeah, slash employees, then salary and amount. Okay, so just do one thing. Go to the postman and just type here then just give the salary range 50,000. Okay, now I have cleared the console. Now let's hit this particular endpoint. Okay, so remove this, I wrongly added it. Just send the request. Here you will find your statistic. If you scroll up, you can find here HQL. This is what the query executed and it took the time 3024 millisecond. Okay, and what is the number of row it returned to us? 1,96,506. that is what the number of record we have in our DB, right? Now you just need to keep a note of this number, 3024 millisecond. So just keep a note of this particular number. So what we can do, I will write here. Fine. Next, let's apply the query hints and compare this particular number. Okay, so go to your repo. Then there is a straightforward annotation offered by the Spring Data JPA. You can use query hints. Then you can define what is the query hints you want to apply on this query. Okay, so what is the name of it and what is the value of it. There are so many query hints available. I will cover everything. So let's go with the simple one, that you want to enable only read only for this. Okay, so you can define something like this: org.hibernate.read only true. Now what does it mean? So by defining these query hints and telling to the Hibernate, hey Hibernate, you please execute the query more in a read only mode, which will enhance the performance by avoiding unnecessary state check. You no need to use your brain and do the state check, just execute it as a read only. That is what we are telling to Hibernate. Okay, this is one query hints. Similarly, if you want to define multiple query hints, no worries, this is just an array, just define the array. Now if you want to add the second query hints, better let me format it. Just add a comma, then define your second query hints. Now again you need to define what is the name of your query hints and what is the value of it. So it depends on the use case what you are working and what query hints is perfect, what I can say, feasible for your use case. Okay, now let's say I want to enable the fetch mode. I don't want to load all the 1,96,000 record at a time. Rather I will instruct to Hibernate to load it in a chunk, okay, or load it in a batch. So I can define that. So here I can define org.hibernate.fetch size. Not here because this is my key. Just copy this. Then what is the value you want to set? I will set 50. If I have more record, I can go with 100 or 500. It depends on you how you want to set your batch. So what it will does, it will reduce the memory consumption for large data set. If you are playing with them, it will improve the performance by fetching the result incrementally rather than loading all at a single shot. Okay, that is the reason you can define the fetch size. Next, you can also tell to the Hibernate to cache your query result. Okay, so what you can do, you can define another query hints saying that okay, name is this org.hibernate.cacheable. Then you can define value as a, so it will simply store your all the search or query result to the Hibernate second level cache. In this way you can avoid the database multiple database hits. Okay, now also you can tell to the Hibernate, hey, use the cache, use the query cache where you store the result. So for that you can define another query hints. There are so many options guys. Okay, so you no need to define everything. Based on your need you can define that. So since this is just a demo, I am showing everything, all possible value of it. Okay, now what is the value? First define the key will be, now it will be Jakarta. So Jakarta persistence dot cache retry mode, just define use. Okay, so what it does, This will indicate that the cache should be consulted when retrieving entities or query result. Okay, you enable the cache, but you need to inform to the query hints, right, saying that okay, use the cache where we store the query result. Fine. Now also you need to inform to the Hibernate, hey, store my cache result to the Hibernate second level cache, or store my query result to Hibernate second level cache. So for that you can also define another query hints, name, will change it, just change it to store mode, and value is use. This is simple, right? We are just telling to Hibernate to store the query result to the cache if it is not present. Okay, now also you can set the timeout for your query. So you know, right, db call is always expensive. So if the query is taking more time, I can set the timeout. If within that time range you are not getting the response back, then just throw the error. So you need to optimize further. Okay, so you can also define that timeout, and you can set the time limit. Fine. So these are different type of query hints. You can also add the query hint for locking mechanism. So these are the different type of hints are designed to optimize the query execution. It will reduce the memory, CPU usage, and also improve the performance by leveraging this kind of caching and batch processing kind of thing. Okay, again, the behavior of these query hints may vary, depends on the implementation and the DB you are using. Currently I am using JPA, right? If I am using MySQL or Oracle or PostgreSQL, the result might be slightly different. Fine. So these are the things. Now what we will do, these are the basic query hint which I added to improve my query response on the fly. Okay, so what we will do, let's run our code, then we will see the time difference. Without query hints, it took 3024 millisecond to give me the result. Now let's run the code and we'll see what is the benefit, or whether we are able to optimize the DB performance using these query hints or not. So what I can do, I will restart the server. So let me clear the console now. Just go to the Postman. See the size 24 MB, right? Because we are loading the 1,96,000 record. Okay, and it took 8.5 seconds. This is because the data return type is more, right? So that's fine. Now what we can do, let's hit this endpoint again. If you see the console, we got some error. What is the error? Now if you will scroll up, okay, statement cancelled due to timeout or client request. But do you have any idea why we are getting this error? MySQL timeout exception. Okay, so the reason we are getting it, because the timeout we are specified here is 2000 millisecond. However, the query is taking more than this particular range. So for now what I'll do, I'll just comment this. Now just restart the server. There is no compilation error, just remove this. So it started. Now clear the console, go to the Postman, re-trigger the endpoint. Now if you will go to the console, can you see here how much time it took? Almost half, right? Even better than this. With query hints, can you compare the time, the number? Without query hints, it is taking 3024 millisecond. With query hints, it is taking 1029 millisecond only. Even you can optimize it better by adding the DB specific indexing kind of thing. Okay, so this is what something query hints you can apply directly on the query. That is what using this particular query hints annotation. Okay, this will apply the implementation on the fly to your query. Can you see the big difference here. So I will always suggest you to test these query hints related things in a staging environment, as they can significantly affect query performance and behavior. Since we tested it in our local, but we are able to see the noticeable difference. Okay, the difference number is clearly visible with and without query hints. So try using these query hints in your project based on your need. Just add the required query hints and then figure out whether it is giving the better performance or whether it is improve your DB performance or not. Okay, so just do let me know in a comment section if you have any doubts.
That's all about this particular video, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Meet you soon with a new concept.